body was never found. It was hell on Frank's.
Tell me where she is! Tell me!
NCIS fans in shock as favorite character returns for a Origins spin-off amid emotional roller coaster. NCIS fans are buzzing after a beloved character made a surprise cameo in the highly anticipated NCIS Origins, a spin-off series that takes viewers back to the early days of Leroy Jethro Gibbs' career. The special appearance, coupled with Mark Harmon's excitement about the show, has fans eager for more as they get a glimpse of Gibbs' origins. Harmon himself called the casting fun, but it's not just the nostalgia that's got people talking. The latest NCIS episode, In From the Cold, left fans on the edge of their seats, emotionally drained, and eagerly awaiting the next installment after a tense cliffhanger. Viewers were left stunned, especially since they now have to wait 2 weeks for the next chapter. Meanwhile, in Origins, the growing romance between Gibbs and Lala, played by Mariel Molino, is heating up, though Molino hinted their relationship might soon take a darker turn. Will Gibbs' personal life complicate his dangerous career? Fans are already speculating on what comes next for the iconic character, and it looks like the drama is just beginning. With NCIS continuing to captivate audiences and Origins offering new twists and revelations, there's never been a better time to tune in. But be warned, the emotional stakes are higher than ever. Hey, lovely viewers, welcome to our channel show's update. NCIS fans shocked as beloved character makes special guest appearance in spin-off show Origins. NCIS Origins gives fans the chance to see how Leroy Jethro Gibbs started his career, and viewers were overjoyed to see one of the favorite characters appear on the spin-off. NCIS Origins fans were left in disbelief when beloved character Tobias Fornell made an appearance in the spin-off show. Monday night's episode, titled Incognito, saw Leroy Jethro Gibbs undertake his first undercover mission. However, viewers were distracted when FBI agent Fornell popped up on screen. The character first appeared in the original NCIS series and was played by Joe Spano. In NCIS Origins, a much younger Fornell is played by Lucas Dixon, whose credits include The Tick and Z, The Beginning of Everything. NCIS Origins' Mariel Molino says Lala's connection with Gibbs deepens, and it starts to get scary. NCIS fans shocked as they spot Mrs. Doubtfire and Disney Channel star all grown up in latest episode. NCIS Tony and Ziva fans not. Mark Harmon reacts to a fun NCIS Origins casting. The latest NCIS series follows the origin story of Leroy Jethro Gibbs joining the military law enforcement organization. As an origin story, Mark Harmon couldn't play the role, and the series had to find a young actor to play the role. That ended up going to Austin Stoll, and Harmon seems happy with the choice. Here is what Harmon had to say about Stoll's casting and his thoughts on narrating the series. Mark Harmon talks NCIS Origins casting process. Mark Harmon is still an executive producer for the NCIS franchise. As a result, he has a heavy hand in everything from casting to the storylines. He was also one of the people who helped pick out who played the younger version of his character. It was a process that Harmon said he loved. Mark Harmon played Leroy Jethro Gibbs for 19 seasons. Credit, CBS. NCIS Season 22, Episode 5 Review, a crafty episode despite its predictable villain. A long-running NCIS character just cameoed in the Origins prequel, but I'm more fascinated by what's coming up for Gibbs and Lala. Warning, spoilers for the NCIS Origins episode Incognito are ahead. Mariel Molino was the first actress to be announced for NCIS Origins, and ahead of the prequel's debut on the 2024 TV schedule, lead actor Austin Stoll clarified that Leroy Jethro Gibbs and her character, Lala Dominguez, won't become love interests. Nevertheless, at the end of Origins' first episode, Mark Harmon's older Gibbs narrated that the reason he's looking back on this period of his life is because he's recalling the story about her, i.e., Lala. In the weeks since, we've seen Lala and Gibbs get to know each other, and this week's episode, titled Incognito, added new layers to their dynamic. Molino and Origin's co-creator Gina Lucida Monreal have now teased what's coming up for these two, but before we go over that, let's talk about the long-running NCIS character who made a cameo in Incognito. Tobias Fornell cameoed on NCIS Origins. This week's episode focused on the death of Petty Officer 2nd Class Greg Piccolo, who worked at the Naval Weapons Station overseeing the facility's classifiers. Although it initially looked like Piccolo had died by suicide, it was revealed that he'd had stolen a microfiche showing the latest schematics for the Tomahawk missiles. He was working with a man named Baker to handle the transfer of the microfiche, but Baker had one of his underlings kill Piccolo and make it look like a suicide. When Mike Franks and Cliff Wheeler, head of NIS's Camp Pendleton branch, met with one of Wheeler's FBI contacts at a Mexican restaurant for intel on Piccolo, they also met another FBI agent named Tobias. That's right, NCIS Origins brought in the younger version of Tobias Fornell, whom Joe Spano has been playing on NCIS since the show's debuted in 2003, though he's never wanted to be one of the series' regulars, and is one of Leroy Jethro Gibbs' closest friends. On Origins, he's played by Lucas Dixon, who's guest starred on shows like Blind Spot and The Tick. So now that the younger Fornell has been established in the prequel, we can count down to when he and Stoles Gibbs will meet and begin forming their unique dynamic. Lala and Gibbs are about to become closer. In order to retrieve the Tomahawk microfiche, Gibbs and Lala went undercover to a members-only club to meet Baker, with Gibbs pretending to be Samuel Rhodes, the man who'd inquired about the schematics, and Lala acting as Rhodes' girlfriend. While their cover ended up being blown, the agents still managed to obtain the schematics and apprehend Baker and his goons. However, Incognito was also difficult for Lala on a personal level. As the older Gibbs reunited, Mariel Molino's character felt like she was trapped in a box, both professionally and personally. The former was reflected through the sexism and toxicity from her NIS coworkers, and the latter came from her boyfriend moving in with her, which led to her making out with a random guy outside of a bar. Gibbs was able to sense something was bothering Lala during the episode, and here's what Molino told the Wrap about where the two characters go from here. How does Mark Harmon really feel about NCIS Origins? Mark Harmon may not have much of an acting role in NCIS Origins, but he is still very much involved. He reflected on his role as narrator for the show in an interview with Parade. That's been fun because both of showrunners, Gina Lucida Monreal and David J. North, have a long history with the show and I go way back with both of them, he said. So, me doing the narration was always going to be part of this, so that wasn't a surprise. What is the surprise is talking about Gibbs. Sometimes I don't have a lot of stuff to do in an episode and then sometimes I've got a boatload of stuff to do and that's putting words in the mouth of a character that traditionally said a lot with very little. Read more, NCIS, Origins 1.1 and 1.2, Enter Sandman, Part 1 and Part 2 review. Harmon added that he is really happy with the decision to cast Austin Stoll as the young Leroy Jethro Gibbs. We're happy with the cast, he said. Austin is a good kid and a nice actor. I think back to all the weeks we spent in casting offices trying to put that cast together and we couldn't be happier with this cast, but at the same time, I think back to the original show, say the first 4 years, and the molding of the show and how many changes there were in those first 4 years. There were huge changes, and you expect it's going to be no different on this, that there'll be changes. Harmon's son Sean Harmon, who's an executive producer for Origins, previously spoke about how young Gibbs differs from his dad's version. The character of Gibbs has resonated with global audiences because he is a role model and at the same time someone you can relate to, Sean Harmon, Mark Harmon's son who served as an executive producer, said. The world is used to seeing Gibbs as the boss, but in NCIS Origins we are dealing with a much less tempered version of him. Fans can look forward to a more intimate look into what makes Gibbs tick, as well as meeting some of the characters who influenced him along the way. Read more. NCIS Origins is grittier than predecessors. Is it worth a watch? Origins just got a full season order from CBS last week. NCIS Origins has added a brilliant new dimension to the NCIS franchise with an origin story of Leroy Jethro Gibbs and a cinematic 90s experience that features distinct characters, stories, and crime solving, said Amy Reisenbach, president of CBS Entertainment. It will now boast an 18-episode first season. The show airs on Mondays at 10 p.m. Eastern Time/Pacific Time on CBS. NCIS fans want to cry after intense In From the Cold episode amid hiatus. NCIS viewers were left on the edge of their seats during Monday night's November 11th episode In From the Cold and have been left devastated after realizing they have to wait 2 weeks for the next installment. NCIS enthusiasts are gutted as they face a 2-week hiatus before the next episode airs. The latest installment, In From the Cold, featured the squad solving an atypical case alongside a dementia-stricken ex-U.S. Navy Captain Thomas Butler, who believed it was still 1979. To crack the case, the team had to immerse themselves in Thomas's delusion. Timothy McGee, played by Sean Murray, went undercover as Brian Banaszak, a CIA operative known to Thomas and deceased since 1980, while Katrina Law's character Jessica Knight donned 70s attire. Although the episode was a hit with viewers, the break until November 25th has left them disgruntled, despite an update on NCIS Origins. Bad Sister star recounts terrifying filming experience on Irish coast. Hidden twist in Ryan Murphy's Dr. Odyssey discovered by Disney Plus fans. Fans have also been buzzing about NCIS Origins star Kyle Schmid's unexpected advice from Gibbs actor Mark Harmon and are eagerly awaiting a mini-spoiler for Tony and Ziva devotees. There's also anticipation for a special cameo in the potential Tony and Ziva spin-off, with warnings of sadness if it doesn't materialize. On social media platform X, fans expressed their frustration. One viewer lamented, "Oh, so I have to be normal for 2 weeks? Until I can see Katrina kicking Aya with her stunts again? I'm upset about that." Hashtag NCIS, reports the Mirror US. Another shared their dismay with a clip of Jessica quipping, "It's no Gouda," captioning it, 2 weeks until the next episode. Hashtag NCIS. A third fan confessed, "Actually want to cry, how are we supposed to cope?" Oscar-winning actor rumored to play Dumbledore in Harry Potter TV series. In From the Cold had NCIS fans gripping their seats, especially during a nail-biting moment when Thomas, in a state of fear, appeared to shoot McGee. The team managed to calm Thomas down by reminding him of the current year, and with his assistance, they cracked the case. The episode's antagonist turned out to be a CIA officer named Conrad, who was implicated in a list of CIA misdeeds. Conrad's attempt to eliminate Thomas resulted in the accidental killing of a hospital worker instead. How NCIS bid farewell to its last original cast member. With a procedural series as long-running as NCIS, the show has seen its fair share of cast members come and go. After Mark Harmon, the face of the NCIS universe, exited the main series in season 19, the final original cast member was David McCallum's Donald "Ducky" Mallard. But following the actor's death in 2023, NCIS paid tribute to the actor and his character in season 21. Sean Murray's Timothy McGee may be the most tenured main character currently in the show, but there's one actor who has been with the series since the very beginning: Joe Spano's Tobias Fornell. In the NCIS series premiere, FBI agent Fornell was a rival to NCIS agent Leroy Jethro Gibbs, Harmon, as they butted heads when working a case together. While he never became a main character on the show, he would go on to be featured in at least one episode every season except season 17 and season 22 so far. The rivalry between Fornell and Gibbs was always something to look forward to, as fans enjoyed seeing them slowly become friends with each new episode together. Fornell became such a staple for NCIS that he was featured in the series' 200th episode and the franchise's 1000th episode. But with Gibbs exiting the series and Gary Cole's Alden Parker taking over the position, Fornell's appearances were cut down since he didn't have his best friend to play off of anymore. Because of this, the latest NCIS episode has found a way to subtly say goodbye to Fornell. NCIS Origins Mariel Molino says Lala's connection with Gibbs deepens, and it starts to get scary. The romance is NCIS Origins looks set to heat up, as Lala, played by Mariel Molino, spilled all about her and Gibbs. Popular NCIS spin-off NCIS Origins has had fans hooked, and with a passionate romance between two of the leading characters being an integral part of that. During episode 6 of the series, fans got to see further glimpses of a budding romance between Lala Dominguez and Gibbs. The prequel series saw Monday's episode of the CBS show go undercover in an episode named Incognito. The episode put Lala, Mariel Molino, firmly at the forefront as it explored her experience working at the NCIS while navigating the toxic old boys club mentality. In addition, it also explored Lala's growing bond with Leroy Jethro Gibbs. NCIS fans want to cry as they question how they'll cope after intense episode. NCIS Origin star Kyle Schmid reveals unexpected advice from Gibbs actor Mark Harmon. Inside NCIS connection to Meghan Markle's suits and the royal family. Speaking about Lala's budding romance with Gibbs, Austin Stoll, on the show, Mariel said the feelings between them are only going to get deeper. Thanks for watching this videos. Please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up.